Hey friends, what is up? My name is Erica. Today, I'm gonna be telling you about the one time I went to a psychic. So, we were at the beach. It was a senior beach week, and so me and all my girlfriends were at the beach together. I wanted to go see the psychic. A lot of other people had been to the beach recently and been to the same psychic, so I was like, OMG, we have to go. And so finally, I convinced them all to go, and we were all gonna go, and we were all going, and then we get there. It's like at someone's home, you know, it's like a normal fucking living room. There's like a couch, really big couch. And she was really nice. She probably was reading us as soon as we walked in, and so there were 5 of us there. She like explained all the prices to us because we were all sitting on the couch, and then she was like, okay, who wants to go first? Everyone like looked at me and I was like, yes, hello, I will go first. She like went, like I held out my hand and I was like, oh, I'm left-handed, is that important? And she was like, no, it's not. And I was like, oh, okay. So she like goes to reach my hand, and then she like kind of stopped, she like kind of leaned back or whatever, and she was like, who are all these guys? And I was like, what? And she was like, I'm feeling all these guys, who are all these guys? And I was just like, oh, I know who they are. So I was telling her, blah, and then I was like, I think the reason why you're like feeling them so heavily right now is that like I'm in a fight with one of them, and another one is like slowly, I guess, trying to ease his way back into my life, and I don't know if I should let him. Like, he's starting to follow me on social media, like I don't know if I should like reblock him or anything. And she goes, oh yeah, just get rid of him, make him unfollow. He's familiar, sweetheart, don't let him do it. I was like, okay. Yeah, and then she was like, I can tell that there's a lot of stress related to them, but don't worry, like by the end of the year, it'll all be all tied up neatly in a package and won't be bothering you anymore. And I was like, okay, cool, that's something to look forward to. Then I have a list of what she told me. I wonder if it's in order. Why am I... She did like the basic, how does your life look, how does your career look, how does your marriage look? And she was like, marriage looks good, I see a career shift coming in like a couple, you know, maybe in the next like 6 months or something. It was like, but marriage looks good, career looks good, health looks good. And I was like, lit. She got a sense that I had my guard up, not with her, because let me tell you, in that moment I was overwhelmed as heck. I was shaking probably the entire time, and I don't think it was just my nerves. I think I was picking up on all my friends' nerves, because I do tend to like, I can usually read people's minds like very fast, and so I could tell that they were all nervous, but they were all being very quiet. Some of those girls are actually pretty loud. So they were all being quiet, and so I think we were all really nervous, and then it was just kind of like projecting onto me because I was the only one who wasn't very afraid to be kind of vocal with her. So I was just freaking out the whole time. And so she was like, I can tell that you have your guard up, like you've had your guard up for like a very long time, like you don't generally let people in. And she's like, that's good, don't let it down. And I was like, don't let it down. And she's like, yeah, not for the next couple years. I can tell that there are gonna be some more guys coming in and out of your life, and you know, don't let your guard down, because one of them might try and take advantage of your, you know, whatever. She was just like, which I thought was really interesting, because most people tell you let down your guard, and this woman was like, don't let it down. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, it's 11:11. I have been seeing so many numbers. By the way, speaking of numbers, there are 12 zodiac signs, and I just recently opened an Etsy shop with the 12 zodiac constellations in art form with flowers, so you should go check that out. It'll be linked down below. Also subscribe. So going along with that, she was like, yeah, don't get serious with any like guys for a year to 2 years. She was like, go have fun. I'm not telling you don't have fun. And so then she went to marriage, and she told me that I would marry young. She could tell that I was kind of like, you know, and she was like, oh, like why does that scare you? And I was like, well, my parents got married kind of young, and she was like, oh, well, if it's the one, it shouldn't matter. And I was like, are you telling me that it'll be the one? And then she said I was gonna have 2 kids, which I got really excited about because I've always wanted 2 kids. She said that I would travel a lot. She kind of reminded me that it was okay to not be okay. Like, she kind of got the sense that I always had my wall up. I always had this like presence about me that was always like, you're okay, you're never nervous. I don't really outwardly show that I'm nervous very often. I mean, I have been more lately, but you know, usually I'm kind of, no one will know that I'm upset, no one will know that I'm nervous, because I just like to be a very positive, happy person. And I think that is also why I was being so outwardly nervous around her, and like she could tell. And I think that's because when you're around someone who you like, whether you consciously or subconsciously know that it's okay to be vulnerable vulnerable around them, that you're gonna be vulnerable. Like, I'm telling you, that whole me shaking while I was there the entire time is so out of character for me. She told me 21 would be the freaking littest year of my life. So then she stopped with me with the palm reading, and she did all my friends, and then I was like, can I do a tarot card reading? So she had me shuffle the cards, and I was like, we're doing what they do, and they flip, because cards flip with me so freaking easily. Flipping them, and then she set them out, she was looking at them, and she leaned back again, and she was like, there's a lot of jealousy around you. And I was like in me or like around me? She did say there are a lot of girls who are jealous, and I was like, trying not to look around. That was with all females. So yeah, she was like, but you know, don't let that get in the way. Just keep doing your own thing. And I was like, good. And then so she suddenly stopped, and she was like, I'm getting the guy thing again. And I was like, okay. And she was like, is something going on with one of their dads? We had just been talking about one of them in particular, so I thought it was to do with his dad, because you know, that was fresh, like, but nothing was going on with his dad. And so I was like, I don't know, he doesn't really talk to me about stuff like that. And she was like, okay. Flash forward one night, I get a text from one of my guy friends, and he was like, yo, one of my friend's dads just died. What? And I was like, oh, which one? And then he was like, I'm not gonna tell you because you know him. One of my friends, old friends, not friends with them anymore, his dad died. The fact that I was at a psychic the night before, and she was like, is something going on with someone's dad? So after that, she was like, she told me that it would be kind of like 8 years before I reach the peak of my career, so I will be 26. Pretty good age, if you ask me. Then she told me that the next 2 or 3 years of my life would be a reflection of the rest of my life. And she kind of hesitated, and she was like, I don't want to say it's a Disney ending, because Disney endings don't exist. So apparently I will have a beautiful, long life, and I'm so grateful for that. And you know, maybe psychics are wrong, maybe they're not, but if you go to a psychic and they say that you're gonna have a very long, wonderful life, you will probably subconsciously start to make that happen, because law of attraction, once you get the idea in your head, the seed plants, the seed grows, and then becomes your reality. And so yeah, that is the story of the time I went to a psychic. If you like this video, you should like it, because that's actually really helpful. And if you want to subscribe, you can. I don't want to pressure you into it, but you should subscribe. And I hope you all have a lovely day, because you definitely all deserve it. And I opened an Etsy shop, and it has all these little constellation artworks, and I'm really proud of them. But yeah, you should definitely go check them out. Yeah, like I said, have a lovely day, because you all deserve it.